What up? What up? One day I wake up. Anyway, so I'm just sitting here chilling, right? Eating my yogurt. Eating my yogurt. And I was thinking, let me do this recording. And let me just talk to you for a moment, right? It's peach and apricot. Peach, apricot, and passion fruit. Anyway. No, this one's just peach and apricot. Anyway, me like passion fruit as well, you see. So, I wanted to do this recording. I thought I'm just going to do it anyway. So, sometimes, and I feel like this is going to help somebody because there have been times in my life. I'm so unserious today, generally speaking. Anywho, I feel like it's important. So, the message is, Lord of mercy, tell them the message. How many in? Tell them the message. I feel like I'm a person. There's a part of my personality that was born to be on camera. Like literally, it was born to be on camera. And I feel like sometimes with the way that society can be, it can make you feel like you should hide those parts of yourself, or like not let that part of yourself be seen, or let that part of yourself be out, right? Because like, for example, I think it just is. I think it's just like that. But I think that it's like that for you as an individual more. Like I can say that when I've had moments where I've been in my head about stuff, like things that either I was feeling insecure about, or my confidence hasn't been where it is now with, and stuff like that. It's like you almost like put yourself back. You like keep yourself stuck, or you like self-sabotaging. That's what it is, because you're not prepared to step forth, because you're thinking about everybody else and like everybody else's views and everybody else's opinions and stuff. And I know it happens to loads of people. But I just felt like drawn to do this recording because, excuse my manners, I felt drawn to do this recording because sometimes all of those thoughts in your head and the times that it can just like reoccur and keep you in a stuck space, it's just better to just be able to. It's not easy though, so I'm not saying this like, oh yeah, just put your thoughts to one side and then get on with it. But sometimes actually that does work, you know. Sometimes if you like, you're thinking about something and it becomes bigger than you because you thought about it so much that it actually is you then in that moment, right? You also have the ability to step back into your true self. But sometimes it's hard, and especially when, you know, things are so polished, as it were. When I say polished, I mean like, you know, we've got AIs, the way our AI is advanced. I'm not saying that, you know, don't use filters and blah, blah, blah. But I'm saying, like, when do we see the real people? When do we see people be in them real self? When do we see people's authenticity if it's not behind a filter or behind, you know, lights, camera, action being a certain way? And I'm saying this for those people that are just, they see themselves as like just simply plain Jane, this, that. I see, believe it or not, believe it or not, I think that, you know, I'm not too much and there's not too much going on because this is who I am. Whereas I think that sometimes it's hard to be a lot as a person and wanna be like on camera, sharing your wisdom, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience, doing a bit of traveling, being a personality that you are, when there's all these other versions of. So I'm doing this recording so that to say to you and to share with you, for those that need to hear it, that for those that appreciate it, that I get it, but also try for you. Try to make the steps, even if you need like help and support with like boosting your confidence, with learning who you are or relearning who you are or who you want to be, and then allowing yourself to step into that. Because sometimes, like I said, sometimes we just see the end product, we just see the polished, finished version. But sometimes when you're going through stuff, when you're going through your right, you could do with being able to see people that are also kind of working through their so that you can feel that motivation, you can feel that strength in that is possible. Because sometimes if you haven't got real people to show you, you know what, happens. Oh, there it is. She said it. It happens, and stuff happens that makes you feel like, oh, maybe perhaps it's not the right space and place and time and da da da. But we're all here with our own place, spot, space in the whole entire planet. So it's like, take up your own space, and that's what taking up your own space is by being able to be yourself completely, unapologetically, authentically, and in a way that lets you feel free. It's not about being out here offending people. It's not about being out here and being like, oh, the too much of the too much category. But it's also about not suppressing you. I see people now, I mean, I work with lots of different people, and we'll get to that at some point, but in a safe way. But I think that there's always been this thing, because for me, I feel like I've started and stopped a few times across my life before I committed. And that's because, yeah, it was about a lot of other people, but also it was about what is the standard, like what is expected. Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, if you always see the end product, like when a person's got to that final destination and you haven't seen them doing the work to get there, or they haven't shared any of what the struggles feel like or any of the difficulties, then you just think, oh, maybe it's just you. Like if you're like, say, you haven't got people around you that are inspirational or motivational, and you're just purely relying on the internet, or you're purely relying on stuff outside of you, and the stuff outside of you doesn't look like you, doesn't resonate with you, it can be really hard, and it can be really, really tough. And I think that the balance needs to be more expressed more, and I think that happens in multiple different ways, and that's something that for me is really important. And I think that, you know, if you're a brown skin person, and even if you're not, because I've known enough people be stuck in a similar space, or something worse, or something not so bad, but for them in that moment, in that experience, it's felt really, really bad. And you can't control how you feel when you're in that moment, especially when you're like bigging yourself up just because you're around people, and then when you're on your own, you feel it, or you're keeping certain things to yourself because, do you know what I mean, you don't feel comfortable enough to share it with people. And I think that that's why it's important to kind of start to allow more of it to be seen. And, you know, I'm the same as everybody else. I have good days, I have bad days. You know, there's no reason for me to make it out like it's only one way. It's just that my natural personality is much more of the good days energy, and that's it. So yeah, so within my shares anyway, I just want to keep it balanced. I just want to keep it real, and just want to be true to what I can share. And I hope that, you know, you're effing with it, and it feels natural for you too. If you're feeling the vibe and you get where I'm coming from, you know, join the tribe. And if you've got your own, if you've got like a example of how you pull yourself out of stuff when it's like really shit, then do that. Because I think that there's something about us being a collective that is really important too. And I really would like to build this community that allows my tribe, the tribe, to become an authentic tribe, and to be an authentic tribe. And even when there's things that go on in the world that make you feel like you're separate from that, I'd like this space to be a space that allows you to come back into something that just feels like love, to be frank. Because I think that things have got distorted across time. That's enough of that. We're in a new age, and we're choosing to be in a new vibration. And so that's what's up. So, whew, I say that to say, if you are somebody who is just starting out, or who has had these thought processes that have kept you a little bit behind, or kept you in a space where you thought more about what everyone else feels, I hope this inspires you to step fully in. If you wanted to work with me, you have the option to do that. I'll put my email address in so you can reach out and book an appointment with me. Yeah, one-to-one mentor styly, and or it's more like a conversation, and then I'll just help you to just navigate the bits that just need to be rejigged a little bit, or a lot, depending on your circumstance and situation, where I can. If not, No, where I can. Okay, that's it. Nothing else that I feel is relevant. I'm looking forward to meeting you all. I'm looking forward to communicating with you all, and I'm looking forward to, yeah, this change. Just being a part of this change, you know. I've had this sight of where I've wanted things to move to for a long time, and they have moved, bits have moved, but now I feel like I'm ready for this step. That's why I'm here. So yeah, for those of you that are on the same page, hey, we be stepping. So I will speak to you soon. Take care.